Today in PA is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Stay nice and cozy this season by heading to Renewal to get 20% off every window and door with nothing down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals for more information. Offer ends December 31st. Pennsylvania is seeing a surge in youth gun violence. Meanwhile, that cyber attack in Aliquippa wasn't an isolated incident. Educators are saying how regulations are stifling career tech schools. Lastly, Snoop Hogg needs a home. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. Like much of the rest of the country, Pennsylvania is witnessing the rise of gun violence amongst children and teens, reports the Tribune Review. According to data obtained by Trip Live following a right-to-know request, guns killed 45 juveniles last year in Pittsburgh alone, more than double when compared to 2020. Cops in Pittsburgh arrested 135 kids through this October on firearms-related charges, while all of last year saw just 120 arrests. Statewide, over 6,300 violent crimes involved a handgun last year, up nearly 5,000 from the year before. Of the 600 homicides that occurred in 2022, a gun was used 4 out of every 5 killings. 100 of them involved children and teens ages 10 to 19. As to what's happening, well, there's plenty of reasons out there that people believe to be behind this surge. Pittsburgh Police Chief Larry Scotto, for one, says it's a matter of there being, quote, no consequences. For T. Rashad Birdsong, founder of nonprofit Community Empower Association, it's a more layered issue that starts with early childhood development and, quote, we have to make sure we can get people out of poverty and give incentives for fathers to stick around. Many other experts peg it on social media. Nationwide, over a 2-year period, gun deaths among children and teens rose 50%. According to U.S. and Israeli authorities, that cyber attack in Aliquippa wasn't an isolated incident, reports the Associated Press. Agencies like the FBI and Israel's National Cyber Directorate informed the Associated Press on Friday how other organizations were breached by the Iran-affiliated hackers across multiple states. No specific organization names, nor the number of them, were given. And just like the Aliquippa attack, these companies use a device made by an Israeli company. The agencies also stated how other companies in industries such as, quote, energy, food and beverage manufacturing, and healthcare, unquote, use the same device and may also be vulnerable. State regulations are stifling career tech schools, states the Center Square. During a meeting with senators this week, educators like Dr. Michael Herrera, who's the executive director of Upper Bucks Technical School, claimed that some of the state's mandates directly cause challenges to such centers. In the words of Dr. Herrera, quote, they deplete resources, stifle innovation, and create a dissonance between our curriculum and industry requirements, directly undermining our mission to equip students for the workforce. For example, it can take someone up to 11 years to complete the path for teaching, turning people off to obtaining certification within the state and thus contributing to tech schools' current staffing issues. Plus, a lot of the required curricula focuses on things like history, which has nothing to do with the field. This, among many other reasons, are why educators like Herrera argue that the mandate's demands are untenable given the limited resources made available to support tech schools. Pennsylvania, for the record, ranks 36th in the nation for career tech school enrollment. Snoop Hogg needs a home, says PennLive. The 6-month-old pig, not the rapper/Martha Stewart cohort, was rescued from the streets of Philadelphia recently before being eventually taken in by the Sanctuary of Hossville in Lehigh County. And after being treated for mange and some eye issues, he's apparently, quote, doing great. He just needs a forever home now. If you, listener, are in the market for a pet pig, click on that podcast link. You know, I put a good amount of time trying to come up with some kind of Snoop Dogg related pun for this story, but none of them were good or appropriate. That wraps up today's episode. For even more Pennsylvania news and beyond, check out PennLive.com. And please don't forget to rate this podcast, either Apple or Amazon, or both, and to leave it an honest review too. Thanks in advance. And of course, thanks for listening. I'm I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll talk to you tomorrow during more Today in PA. Today in PA is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Stay nice and cozy this season by heading to Renewal to get 20% off every window and door with nothing down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals for more information. Offer ends December 31st.